Hey, do you like free stuff? What about free stuff that belongs to someone else? What if there is a way to turn a Sims 4 laundromat into a creative clothing store that sells clothes right back to the original customers? In this video, I'm gonna be talking about Sims 4 Laundry, how it works, what it does, and how you can use it to run a shady laundromat. I'll also cover how to quickly reach level 5 in small business, and everything you need to know about hiring and managing trained imbeciles, or as I like to call them, our employees. In 2018, Maxis, the developers of Sims 4, released the Sims 4 Laundry Day Stuff Pack, where they introduced, among other things, washing machines, dryers, clotheslines, and a functioning laundry system. What caught my interest was an item called Folded Clothes. Produced after each drying cycle, it costs 50 simoleons each and can be sold at a display rack in a small business. To turn this feature, into a functioning enterprise, we need to solve one single problem. A problem of supply. When Sims change outfits, they generate an item called a clothing pile. Clothing piles are then washed, dried and folded, turning them into folded clothes. So how can we scale the production? My first idea was simple, to force my Sims into a perpetual loop of changing clothes. This is where small businesses come into play. In the Small Business and Hobbies expansion pack, developers added small businesses. A small business could be anything, a laundromat, a gym, or a special club where people pay you to clean your own toilet. What is important is that we can select the activities these dummies are gonna do for us. But can customers generate dirty clothes? Unfortunately no. Customers will never drop dirty clothes no matter what they do. I built a pool, didn't work. I built a gym, didn't work. I built a lot of showers, nope. I forced them to pee themselves, lock them up, or even set them on fire. Does not matter. They are hard-coded to never drop clothes on the floor or in a hamper. The game only spawns clothing items inside washing machines or dryers and instantly remove them from the game. The only way to grab their clothes is to forcefully disrupt the Sims action queue right after a cycle finishes. We either steal their clothes after they wash or after they dry. My first idea was to build a gigantic compound. I thought to myself, if customers had to run a massive distance to drop off their clothes, surely I could intercept them. Unfortunately, that failed. They would just put their clothes in the machine, and even if they walked away, they somehow clogged the interaction queue, so I couldn't touch the machine. Or they would just stood nearby and watched. Next, I tried distractions. I placed a TV at the entrance, hoping customers would abandon their laundry to watch a show and break their interaction queue. It didn't work, but when Edith, a ghost girl from the Life and Death expansion, would appear on the screen and scream at our customers, it would indeed disrupt their queue. Not reliable enough to replicate, but still very funny though. Then I tried to incite fights, so customers would stop to brawl. It worked well, tremendously well. So well that my customers decided to convert my laundromat into a franchise of fighting club. Not exactly what I was looking for. I even tried the weather, it produced no results. So what options do I have? Setting the pets on fire is pointless. Sims just wait it out and then continue their operation. Plus, you're unable to interact with anything until the fire is done. You cannot break a full washing machine. The ability to sabotage items is completely unavailable. The only thing left for us to do is to find a way to force our customers to leave the laundromat and go home. And this is where the magic of Ultrasonic Whistle comes in. Ultrasonic Whistle is an infamous level 5 perk in the small business skill tree. It is probably one of the rarest perks any player would ever use. Its main feature is that it turns your sim into the most annoying person alive. A sim repellent, a scarecrow. Customers will enter the building, spot our sim, turn around and walk away. While mostly useless in any normal playthrough, our customers do indeed leave their laundry behind. That sweet, sweet laundry for us to clean and sell. Of course, there is a downside. They'll be extremely unhappy about it. A non-issue for us, as business level in the game never drops below your current level. And this is not the worst thing about Ultrasonic Whistle. Your sim is going to be extremely annoying to everyone, especially you, the player. The developers, in their eternal wisdom, choose not to add an option to turn the sound effect off. And trust me, it's gonna drive you crazy. Unless you go into the settings and manually turn it off. Anyway, we're done. Everything's ready. What are the next steps? We do indeed need the perk, but it requires getting our small business to level 5. Out of all creative ways to quickly level up your business, I want to show you my favorite, called Sleepless Hotel. The underlying logic to gain renown, business XP, is fairly straightforward. A customer completes a task and we get XP. The more tasks a customer completes per day, the more XP we gain per day. More customers means more task means more XP. I don't think the game actually cares what task was completed, in which order, succession or complexity. And this is where the magic of Sleepless Hotel comes into play. We make a shoebox full of beds, drop in a couple of stereos, a painting or two, a toilet and a shower, and we're done. Our customers enter, try to go to sleep, get interrupted, wake up, task completed, we get XP. Then they try again, get interrupted again, wake up again, task completes again, and so on and so on. The game does not calculate the duration of sleep for successful task completion. If a customer sleeps for 15 seconds, it counts as a tremendous success. For task selection, keep it short. Sleep, clean and repair. More tasks means more distractions, and more distractions means less XP. Now, let's take a look at the skills. For our skill grind, only two matter. First, going viral. It increases customer satisfaction. The second is Customer Appreciation Day. All goods, services and entrance fees will be free, but it guarantees positive feedback from our customers. It is an active ability on a cooldown that only works for 8 hours, so use it as often as you can. For the rest, take whatever you want. We're gonna respect anyway. A quick montage of small business level up. It took me around a season and a half, 11-12 days, to reach level 5, with barely any direct input from my side. Congratulations! We're level 5 in small business, and we can finally start running this operation. Shitbox big on! Welcome, welcome, welcome to Ransom and its owner, Phil Pockets. We wash, we dry, and we sell, or upsell. Lost and found. This is the first iteration of Ransom. Very simple. Washers in one room, dryers in the other. Now, we have tiny little bit of problem. For customers to leave their clothes behind, we have to be nearby as well. If we go to sleep in the other room, ultrasonic whistle will stop working. While it has a radius, it also does penetrate walls, so we have to be present at all times. Let's place a chair. Our favorite plastic chair, near the washing machines. Phil is going to be playing a role of a scarecrow. He's going to be sitting in a chair, doing nothing. My overarching plan is that I want to triple dip. I want clients to pay for the wash, pay for the dry, and pay for their own clothes. Our first customer, welcome! Oh no! Something happened to their clothes! What a tragedy! Anyway, after testing first iteration of the laundromat, I have found two serious flaws. First, due to the washers being separate from the dryers and Phil scaring customers away, we're unable to triple dip. Customers either do not leave clothes behind or only pay for the wash. The second issue is even more severe. Customers despise Phil so much that they refuse to buy clothes in his presence. The solution is trivial. Let's just move our displays outside. Clothes being exposed to weather condition is not something we should be worrying about. Let's also add an employee. The only task I need our first employee to do is cleaning. Say hello to the second iteration of our laundromat. I combine washers and dryers, and now we will be able to triple dip. After further testing, I found additional issues. Issue number 1. Lint cleaning. Customers will never set your laundromat on fire. Never. But you will. And more importantly, your employees will. They absolutely will. You'll be surprised how often your laundromat ends up on fire. First order of business is not making your washing machines unbreakable. It's making sure that you have the auto lint cleaner. There are a number of upgrades available for dryers and washers. Lintless is the auto lint cleaner. Removes lint from the production chain. Speed cycle increases the speed of the machine. Useful, but not a priority. Tungsten drum is a must-have. It makes your machine unbreakable. Lintless itself requires a level 5 in handiness, as well as 1 common, 1 electric and 2 kitchen upgrade parts. To upgrade items, we have a couple of options. The simplest is using a wrench ourselves. While free, it is very time consuming and requires material. We also need a specific level of handiness to even be able to upgrade our machines. Next, we can hire someone to do it. Not particularly useful, but for us and our dozen or more machines, 4 upgrades each could be quite useful. There is a person in the home section of the phone book, the same character as the mechanic, who will, for a price, upgrade our appliances. When ordering the service, you'll get a pop-up asking what to upgrade. For dryers, select electronics. I also recommend closing the doors to any room filled with computers, stereos, and so on. The goal is to guide the sim to our dryers. Keep in mind, this service is pricey. And now, let's talk about gnomes. What do you know about gnomes? Do you trust gnomes? Did you know that gnomes can mass upgrade your items? Yeah, you heard that right. Some gnomes have a special aura that will mass upgrade all items within a radius, requires no resources, upgrades everything, and does it nearly instantly. But gnomes have a very annoying tendency to randomly teleport around your lot, so you have to manually move them around closer to your machines. Also, watch out for evil gnomes. Now, let's talk about employees. We can hire 3 different characters to work in our laundromat, but all 3 share the same single brain cell. Instead of doing the things you hire them to do, which is their job, they're gonna be eating your food, breaking your stuff, clogging your toilet, and setting your laundromat on fire. Unfortunately, employees are completely and utterly useless. They'll work sometimes, but increasing the salary does not help much. Alongside these credits, We can also hire a maid and a butler. While not a proper staff for a small business, they'll do the cleaning, which includes washing, drying, and folding. A maid is part of the base game. They can be hired with a simple phone call, but only works a couple of hours per day. There is also an upgrade, Bonhilda, added with Paranormal Stuff Pack. She's a replacement and clear improvement. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to have both. The regular maid will refuse to work alongside Bonhilda. To get Bonhilda, you have to reach level 3 in the medium skill and summon her at a seance table. She will despawn, similarly to a regular maid, but nothing stops us from resummoning her. You can also hire a butler. The butler was added as a part of Vintage Glamour Stuff Pack and acts as a live-in maid. Together with a salary, you have to provide a bed for the butler to sleep. The butler in general is quite useful. If you want to get really spicy, you can also hire a nanny and a range hand. Turns out they can clean too, which means you can stack a maid, a butler, a nanny, a range hand, and 3 employees, 7 workers, all doing laundry for you. Not bad for a small business. After more playing and testing, I kept running into the same problem. A customer might leave instantly, pay only for the wash, or pay for both the wash and the dry, but leave before I could intercept their clothes. I was consistently missing out on part of the revenue. In a new version, I completely separated the washers and the dryers, so that Phil, the scarecrow, would directly influence customers in the washing section. An additional benefit, and quite a nice one, was the ability to stack folded clothes on top of the dryers. It looks clean and it saves our employees time, since after a dry cycle, they can just drop the clothes right on top of the machines. The small business kiosk plays a surprisingly important role. It guides sims to a specific point on the map, and only after a sim interacts with the kiosk do they become customers. This means Subsonic Whispers only activates after a sim touches the kiosk. You can run a business without one, and while losing the additional revenue isn't tragic, losing the ability to guide customers through our establishment is a serious problem. Something I noticed is that customers tend to spawn in the same corner of the map. They both spawn and despawn there. Without a kiosk, you can end up in a situation where sims spawn, immediately become customers, get annoyed by Phil, and leave before doing anything useful. The final version of the Laundromat put this to work. Dryers sit directly next to the map exit. A sim spawns in, hits the kiosk in the opposite corner of the map, officially becoming a customer, then works their way through the washing section into the drying section, where Phil does his thing. They get annoyed, drop their clothes, and walk straight out of the exit. And they're gone. And now tutorial is done. I want to show to you how Laundromat works without any input. For the whole day, Phil is going to be sitting on the chair, doing nothing. It is Tuesday, 5 o'clock in the morning. And the Laundromat is officially open. I dress my employees in the clown outfit, specifically so it's much easier to see them. Early in the morning, Phil already summoning Bonhilda. Welcome, Bonhilda. It's time to work. Bonhilda honestly is really good. She does have a drawback. She'll cause your character to have a tense moodlet. Oh, our first customers, welcome. Time for Phil to take his place in the chair. Of course, someone needs to do push-ups in the middle of the laundry. And our first set of folded clothes. By default, folded clothes cost 50 simoleons each, but you can increase the price by clicking in a kiosk to sell items at a very expensive price. For ticket sell mode, select one-time fee entrance. We will have a very high customer turnaround, and this way they'll pay lump sum. Customers being unhappy about anything is completely irrelevant. Every time they spawn, they completely reset. Best part of Bonhilda is that she actually does her job. Another stock is ready. A main issue with businesses in Sims 4 is how clunky AI is, who just stands around and doing nothing. Oh, range hand, already doing the job, and a nanny. I'm not fully on board with hiring a nanny. She's kind of meh. This yellow corridor splits washer zone and dryer zone, and only accessible to employees. My washer zone is very simple. A single ticket kiosk, couple of displays, and washing machines. Just don't buy like a million displays. If you have too many displays, customers are gonna get stuck around them. Phil sitting in the chair, menacingly radiating aura. I also try to play with timing, using speed up and slow down, force customers to break the loop. Kinda works, not really. For some strange reason, ultrasonic whistle does not work 100% of the time. Some clients feel like immune to it. Another great benefit of the butler will automatically repair broken machines. And our employees are hard at work, as always. And here is one important detail about employees. They will steal your clothes. They only steal dirty clothes, but still. Customers are indifferent towards the quality of the items. We're finally able to scale our production. I have to be quick, otherwise employees are gonna steal them again. Bella Goth in the corner, summoning someone. There is no difference between dirty clothes and pristine clothes. The audacity of some employees. This is my chair, Missy. Get out. Wednesday, 2 a.m. I cut most of the footage out, mostly because it's just boring repetition. Phil is doing nothing and employees running around doing the work. It seems like a last batch before the closing and the last hour before the closing. Congratulations! Our fully idle laundromat earned us in a day 14,202 simoleons. Keep in mind, Phil was sleeping all day. Let's dive deeper into the stats. We served 56 clients and we sold tickets to 55 customers. Wait, what? How's it even possible? Anyway, 9K for ticket sales is insane. Retail sales, baby! This is what we have been doing all day. 21, the whole 21. This is all the clothes we sold. In other words, we stole more than a third of all the laundry that come in our possession and sold it back and fully idle. I would say it is a success. Next is revenue from services. We served 81 clients and we earned 3,087. And the last position is tip jar. 60 customers gave us a tip. Customers literally gave us tips for stealing their pants. Oh my god, this is hilarious. And with this, Laundry Ransom is officially closed for today. As you saw yourself, ransoming clothes back to the original customers is indeed a profitable endeavor. So you definitely should try it. Thanks for watching. And if you accidentally forgot to like and subscribe, no worries, I already have your socks. And I hope you are thirsty, because in the next video, we'll be opening a very special bar in Sims 4. Cheers!